Welcome to Wholesale Hotline, where we cover everything to do with wholesale real estate. I'm Jamil Damji.
I'm Brent Daniels.
And I am Pace Morby.
And together we cover the most important parts of wholesale real estate.
Lead generation.
Conversion of sellers into contracts.
And dispositions. Guys, remember when you're watching this show, do us a favor and squad up in the comments.
Make sure that you are liking and subscribing to the YouTube channels and in the Facebook group Wholesale Hotline.
Most important, we want to know we're doing a great job for you and helping you build your business. So go give us a review on iTunes and or Spotify.
So squad up and enjoy the show!
Welcome to Wholesale Hotline number 147. My name is Brent Daniels. I am joined by the incredible Jamil Damji and Pace Morby, and we're here for three things. All right? We're here to answer questions, so make sure that you put your questions in the comments section. We're here to recognize the success that you have had. So make sure that you post if you've made your first call, if you've closed your first deal, if you've helped your first person get their deal sold by squatting up. And that leads us into the third main reason that we're all here, and that's to squad up in the comment section. Make sure that you are putting where you do business, how long you've been doing business, and make sure that you find other people that are doing this business, because it is lonely out there if you're on an island by yourself. That's why we do this show with three hosts, right? We've got lead generation, we've got conversion, and we've got disposition, or we've got exit strategy. Those are the three main parts of every real estate business. We're here to talk about all of them, keeping you updated on the most up-to-date news, topics, tips, tricks, everything, so that you can be as successful as possible, as quick as possible, as a real estate entrepreneur. Jamil, how are we feeling?
Great, man. Enjoying this great Monday. We had an amazing weekend.
Amazing weekend.
Yeah, it was epic.
Guys, if you missed it over the weekend, Triple Digit Flip Season 2 is released. You can see it everywhere. Hulu, you can see it on your Cox, you can see it everywhere. You can see it on any kind of cable provider that you have. Make sure you check
Watch
that out.
Triple Digit Flip on all the Cox.
Yes, there we go. Cox Cable. There you go. Pace, how we doing? Pace is muted.
My life is pretty amazing, dude. Like, insane. Absolutely insane. You work so hard that when you finally take a moment and look at everything that you're doing, you see all the people's lives that are around you. They're changing. People are making money. All these friends you have, the people that you rely on a daily basis. And the party we had on Saturday night was a big culmination of that. And also watching Jamil fulfill a childhood dream of having the Outlaws perform at our TV premiere. That sounds like a made-up sentence, actually. The Outlaws performed at our TV premiere, and we had some unbelievable people there. Our communities were just having a great time. So I don't know how much better life could get. Thank you.
I don't think it does.
Well, it's getting better this Wednesday.
Hell yeah.
We're getting together this Wednesday evening
At the
Keegley office.
Yes, sir. It's going to be a good one. Wholesale Hotline panel. If you're in Phoenix, Arizona, and you want to ask us questions live and get into it, we're going to have at least 200 people show up to those things most of the time. Be a good time.
Pace, you going to be there?
I will be there, yeah. That's Wednesday night, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'll be there. And I have a suggestion for us tonight. I already kind of launched it, but I'm giving the link away to the side chat so you guys can come into the back studio. The link that says StreamYard.com/a bunch of miscellaneous BS I see people in the side chat saying, I need help. Well, guys, that's what Wholesale Hotline Q&A is all about. We want to see you, talk to you, etc. So as long as you've got a phone that has good internet, come on the live, click on the link, come in here. Let's have a conversation. And we want to help you answer some freaking questions today.
This is getting back to the old school, the first few episodes where we were just taking calls and answering questions. This is going to be a lot of fun, guys. So if you have questions, be brave, jump back here, and let's get it. Look at this. We got the historic home locked up. Here we go. We talked about it last week, guys, on the show. Got it locked up. Should we help her comp it? I wonder if we can help her comp it on this. What's the best way to do this, Pace?
Have Tenatrice click the link and come on the live. We'll pull her up here. I've got Harley up here. He's ready with a question. So Tenatrice, come on here.
First of all, let's ring this victory bell for getting that locked up. Come on.
Yeah.
Love it. All right, Harley, you ready to go? Let's do it. Harley, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing great. How about you guys?
Awesome.
Really
welcome.
Good.
Welcome,
by the way, for just giving all this information out like this. It's awesome having you guys on and being able to just hop in here. I'm not a student or anything, so it's awesome. So just want to say thank you.
Absolutely.
Where are you from?
I am from Temecula, California.
Awesome.
Yep.
That's awesome. So talk to us.
All right. So I have a question. Would you recommend trying to go directly to a seller, even if they're listed with an agent?
Yes. Jamil and I are going to go to battle on this one right now. We're going to go to battle on this. This morning, I did this whole seller call thing with my students. And one of my students came in and there was an agent that refused to pick up the phone. We gave the respect to the agent. I give all the respects to the agents. I want to build a relationship with the agents. Jamil is 100% right. But and I don't know if I think Jamil agrees with me on this one, but I'm not quite sure. If an agent is not representing their seller, guess what? I'm not a licensed agent. I have zero allegiance to licensed agents. And if you are a licensed agent that refused to pick up your phone, I am here to secure the bag. I'm here to make money. And I'm going to go around you very quickly. I'm going to skip trace your seller, and I'm going to call your seller, and I'm going to tell the seller that you did not pick up the phone. And that's exactly what I did. I actually, here, check this out. Let me show you guys a little something. Check this out. I got this cool little doohickey. Where is it? Come on, where are you? Okay, here it is. See that? Well, forget about the YouTube thing, but check this out. If you look right here, you will see my sellers. The agent's name right here is Greg, okay, or Gary. Sorry, Gary. And I called that agent today multiple times, and I couldn't get the agent to pick up the phone. Gave him multiple text messages, give him multiple opportunities, would not pick up the phone. So I just skipped trace and called the seller directly. So my answer, and this is what the seller said. I said, hey seller, my name is Pace. I'm calling you because I couldn't get a hold of your agent, and I'm just trying to submit an offer. In fact, we called your agent yesterday and submitted an offer. Haven't heard anything back. Guys, I'm sorry, but I'm not an agent. If you are an agent, do not listen to me. Right. I'm not an agent. It's one of the benefits of not being an agent is being able to not have an allegiance to any sort of governing body that tells me I need to be respectful to agents. Mm-hmm. I'm respectful to anybody that does their job. That's who I'm respectful to. So for me, I give the respect to the agent. If they show me they don't want to work with me, then by all means, I'm going around that agent to the seller. I don't have an agreement saying I won't talk to the seller. The agent, another agent needs to go through another agent. I, as the investor, can call whoever I want. Now, to that point, Harley, even when I call that seller and I work at a deal directly with that seller, it doesn't mean that seller can just work out a deal with me without paying that agent.
Yeah.
They have an agreement with that agent. Now, depending on their listing agreement, some listing agreements say that the seller can cancel at any time for any reason. You have to understand that. But for me, in my world, I first try going through the agent because I want to build relationships like Jamil teaches. You want to build long-term relationships. In fact, at our triple-digit flip party, he had Monique Walker in the front row, somebody he makes $1 million to $2 million a year from on one relationship. So I want the relationship more than anything else. But if that agent refuses to work with me, I won't even wait 24 hours and I'll call the seller directly.
I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with that. And you're right about all those things. As an investor, you don't have to excuse me, you don't have to abide by any, non-communication rules, or you don't have to work through the realtor. You're absolutely okay to go directly to the seller. But you're right. There is that underlying elephant in the room, which is the listing agreement. Now, here's the problem, right? The way that I see it is that if you really want to try to move the deal forward, you're going to alienate that realtor, because that realtor is going to feel that, well, you didn't play by my rules. And even though maybe she doesn't realize that you don't have to play by those rules, she plays by those rules, or he plays by those rules. And so I always like to kind of align myself to them so that I'm not approaching the situation in a way that's going to make them adversarial. Is what you're saying absolutely valid? Yes. If an agent's not doing their job and not picking up the phone, call the seller. But also know that that could have an adverse effect on how that agent deals with you and how that agent sells the deal.
Such a great response to that. Such a great response. So you have to be aware of that. Now, for me, in that specific situation today, Harley, the seller has already left their property. The house is vacant. They've had 4 offers fall through. And the main reason why the 4 offers are falling through is what the seller told me today was that, I won't go into it too long, but there was a justified reason why I tried to go around the agent. Okay. Again, when I'm doing agent outreach, I'm doing what Jamil teaches. I'm actually not trying to get a deal, which is funny. When I go and do agent outreach, what am I really trying to do? I'm really trying to build relationships with agents.
Yep. Yeah.
And there's a side benefit of getting deals from it. Right?
Harley, why would you not go through the agent?
For the same reasons. If they aren't grasping creative financing, I've made a few calls where they say, all right, I have, I'm going to call you back, and I never get a call back. And I'm sure I could probably follow up, do a better job.
This is a good one too, Harley. Just to couple on top of that, I have a same day today. I was doing agent outreach and working my students' leads today. So Amy, one of my students in LA, says, we've submitted an offer. Okay, we submitted an offer to the seller, and the agent will not present it because they think that sub 2 is illegal. Okay. And so what I did is I actually, this last month, I've been interviewing attorneys. So here's one that's really, really good. Let me do a little presentation for you guys. You guys are going to see some of the coolest freaking things ever from my sub 2 students. They're going to be blasting things out over the next couple of weeks. But I've been interviewing attorneys. Okay. Check this thing out. So I'm interviewing attorneys across the country. This gentleman right here, Harry Marsh, closes 2 sub 2s on average every single day. And we went through a 45-minute recording, going through and showing people exactly what he says to agents who think things are illegal. So what I do is my students then take these recordings and they then go and send these to agents and say, hey, agent, here's an actual recording from not just one attorney. What we do is we chop it up, and there's 7 attorneys that all answer the same question. Is sub 2 legal? Is this, that, blah, blah, blah. One of the reasons why Jamil loves agent outreach. I don't like agent outreach. You want to know why? Because I'm teaching somebody whose average salary is $35,000 a year what real estate is. That's my honest answer. I spend more time educating agents on what a real estate transaction is than I do actually negotiating with the actual person who owns the actual piece of real estate. Does agent outreach work? Tremendously. It is absolutely unfreaking believable how powerful agent outreach is. But for me and my personality, I don't want to negotiate with somebody who doesn't have an interest in the real estate except for the percentage. So for me, I prefer direct to seller outreach. And it's hard. Direct to agent outreach is hard because agents' average income is $35,000 a year for a reason. They're not that educated about comps. They're not that educated about whatever. However, I think Jamil will have a really good argument to this, is that actually presents a pretty powerful opportunity for you to become friends with people and bring value to these agents that they otherwise didn't have before you.
Especially in this market.
You're educating someone. You're usually going to educate a seller. You're going to educate an agent. And either way, somebody's is going to have an enlightening experience, understanding how they can trade their property in a creative way, whether it be the seller or whether it be the agent, right? And so I mean, you're going to do that work one way or the other. Maybe your preference is sellers and direct homeowners because you don't want to have to do it twice. But the fact is that, for me, I've always thought if I can at least educate this agent one time, then that becomes a now powerful mechanism for me going forward. Because if another opportunity like that comes around, they can do it again and again and again, So I get it. And you're right, man. There's a lot of very uneducated agents out there who don't even know how to comp. They're not taught how to comp in real estate licensing school. They're not taught, let alone creative real estate strategies or investor strategies. So it's tough. You're really dealing with a segment of the business that doesn't have the level or breadth of education that we want them to have.
Have you talked to him, Harley?
Yeah.
Have you talked to the agent? Have you presented an offer, like a written offer?
I haven't presented a written offer, but I presented the idea of going creative, and the answer I've got back was I was going to talk to the sellers and get back to you.
Okay, and then you followed up, and they just haven't responded.
Ghost them.
Yeah.
So how do you prevent that?
Well,
you know what I mean? Is it more certainty? Is it a clear message?
I think what he's experiencing is the agent's confused.
Yeah.
I think they're confused and they don't trust it. They don't trust they're confused about what it is, the legalities, or how it's going to affect their relationship with their seller.
Yep.
So, does that mean now?
I think that what most agents, because I was one for a long time, how do I get paid?
Oh, I mean, but yeah,
how do I get paid in this creative deal?
If
right?
If Harley's been listening to any of Pace's, content, he'll know that you first thing you come out the gate with the agent and tell them, hey, if I can take care of your commissions, can we do this deal creatively? And so you want to solve that objection out the gate, right? Yeah. And if you haven't done that, that could be the problem.
Yeah, I think it comes down to both of what you guys already said. Number one, agents want to hear, how am I getting paid? With creative finance, you hear a lot of zero down, seller finance. You hear a lot of this stuff. So agents have an incorrect perception. So that's number one. Number two, if you're an agent that doesn't know how to explain, by the way, agreement for sales, lease options, these types of things are actually in continued education courses nationwide. Agents just don't get educated on them. That's it. And so what happens is if you don't know how to explain something to your seller, chances are you're just not even going to try. And your goal is, I'm just going to avoid this phone call and hope. And again, guys, I'm married to an agent. My business partner's an agent. We do deals with agents. I love agents, but you got to understand this business at a full scope to understand this. You are talking to people that make an average of $35,000 a year. The way they live their life is, I'm going to avoid my problem by not answering my phone. So when they're ghosting you, it's because they probably don't know how to explain it to their seller. So what we do, and you guys will see this, my sub-2 community has probably 50 of these Zooms. Jamil, oh no, you weren't there. I was in Dallas with Vina last time, but when I was in Dallas a couple weeks ago, I was speaking on stage for Ryan Harper. And right before I went on stage, he's like, you're doing a Zoom right now? I'm like, yeah, I'm talking to an agent and their seller on a Zoom so I can explain to the seller what creative finance is so the agent can watch me do it. And so for me, the way that I overcome that is I say, hey, I'd be happy to talk through, and actually this is the way I do it. So it makes it so the agent doesn't look stupid. I tell the agent, I go, hey, I'd love to explain the top 10 things your seller should be really worried about with this type of offer before I submit the offer. Is there a way we can get on a Zoom and I can explain these things? And then when the offer comes across, and the agent's like, yeah, sure, that'd be great. And I go, by the way, if we do some sort of terms, I need to have an ongoing relationship with the seller. So smart thing is, why not just introduce each other now, see if we like each other? And the agents are really, what I'm telling the agent is, hey, you obviously don't know anything about this, but if I can get your commissions paid, why don't you just let me get on a Zoom with your seller and I'll present it, and then I can educate the agent. So that's how I overcome it, Harley, just FYI.
How important is it, Pace, that you find out, how many offers they've had on this, how popular this house is, if they've got, other people coming at them, or maybe they tried something creative and it didn't work because there was a knucklehead out there not knowing how to do it. You know what I mean? What do you dig into the backstory before you start really getting into it?
I don't submit a cash offer or a creative offer until I have ammunition, and I gathered my ammunition by asking the appropriate questions.
That's right.
And usually it starts out by catching me up to speed is my number one thing I ask. And then the agent will then say, well, what do you mean? I'm like, well, how's the showings going? Are you guys getting offers? Are people afraid of the house? Is there a ghost in there? Like, what's going on? And I will ask people sometimes, is the house haunted? Because this house is cute and you guys haven't sold it yet. I'm wondering, like, is there a pirate ship downstairs and there's ghosts and goblins down there? And I'll get agents to laugh about stuff like that. And then you'll get the agent that will spill the beans and start telling things to you before I even go down that road. And then the first thing I do is I go down the cash road, because the cash road allows me to have the conversation of what other offers are you getting? If I was going to offer cash, I'd probably be somewhere around here. Is that where you guys are getting offers? And then that also opens up the opportunity when I say, if I was going to give you a cash offer, I'd be somewhere around here. They ask the question of, what do you mean if you were going to offer cash? Oh, well, I can offer cash or I can offer terms. Do you mind if I explain to you what terms are? And so I open it up. It's always a 1, 2, 3 process. Gather ammunition, talk about cash, see if there's a potential cash opportunity. And then in that cash opportunity, lay down the seeds to then open up my creative conversation.
Good stuff.
Write it down.
But here's the thing about agent outreach that I would tell you is that the person that really wins long-term, the person that wins long-term is the agent relationship, because it's a manufacturing line, right? If you get enough agents, you essentially could travel the country with your best friend making TV shows and still make $1.5 million from one relationship. And so for me, I never want to go around an agent unless I know there's a sign of distress. The property's vacant, something's going on, and the agent is not really working on behalf of that seller. I then give myself permission to go around that agent. Okay. But what you're really doing when you go around an agent is you're going around a potential business relationship that will bring you 50 deals over the next 5 years.
I would also do a filter, Pace and Jamil, on limited service listings. Okay, these are brokerage houses that put the properties on the market, but it's essentially a FSBO. It's essentially a for sale by owner. The seller's representing themselves. And it'll say in the notes, it's listed by a certain company, but it'll say in the notes, reach out to the actual homeowner, give you all the information, and then you could reach out to them and see if you could just, create that relationship with them and see if you could get that property.
Marina says in the private side chat, she says, I love this. And I have questions that piggyback off of it. So,
all right.
Marina, welcome to the show. Welcome to Wholesale Hotline. Jamil also has food poisoning today. He's not feeling great. And also, just so you guys know, Jamil has lost 45 pounds this year. So yes, he is freaking grinding out, looking unbelievable. Everybody notices. Is it 45 pounds, Jamil?
Yes, Jamil.
I thought you were looking
like maybe more since the food poisoning.
Is that part of the weight loss strategy is food poisoning?
Yes, I poison myself every 2 weeks.
What do you got, Marina?
Well, hi. First of all, I just want to say thank you. I'm a little starstruck. So I really appreciate the opportunity to come on here and ask questions. But to piggyback off of the last question in regards to agents, and you provided a lot of information right now. I'm picking my bridge, as Brandon Turner says, right? Like you have to pick the bridge, either wholesaling or this strategy or becoming an agent. And my background has been in sales. Like I've been selling solar systems here on Maui. Prior to that, was selling coaching programs for both my own company as well as others. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm great at sales. Why don't I become an agent? Like it's only going to create another source for me from where I can source deals. However, I just got my hands on my first wholesale deal, by the way, that I'll tell you guys about in a bit. But I've been kind of apprehensive, like, should I even pursue the agent route, or should I just pick the wholesaling route and go that direction right now? Is it in any way, shape, or form gonna legally prevent me from my full wholesaling and investing potential?
I can tell you, Jamil has probably the best answer for this. And this is a personal decision. Just FYI, I will never become an agent ever personally. And one of the reasons being, as we talked about this earlier, is that I can go directly to the seller by bypassing an agent that doesn't want to work with me without having any sort of issue. But I would say that's probably the only drawback to having a license, is that I have to respect somebody else that has another license. Jamil, what are your thoughts? What are the major benefits of being an agent?
Well, I think you just got to look at it as a tool, not a label. You know, the thing that I think that you're doing right now is you're saying, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to be a realtor, or I'm going to be a real estate investor, or I'm going to be a wholesaler, and you know what? They don't have to be ors at all. It's all ands. So you can say, I'm a real estate investor. I'm licensed as a real estate investor. I can act as the principal in a deal, and I can wholesale the deal. If I can't make the numbers work, I can list it as a realtor and make a commission on it. I have different opportunities available to me based on the best situation or needs of the homeowner. And so I think as long as you can create that perspective in your mind, that'll allow you to be nimble enough in those kinds of appointments where you can pivot fast and decide, am I going to act as a principal and buy this house? Am I going to try to create a creative deal here and still be the principal and buy this house? Or am I going to try and list this house because this house deserves to be on the MLS and sold to a retail buyer? Whatever that is, having a license doesn't hinder you in any of those ways. All you have to do anytime is disclose that you're licensed, and that creates the solution to that whole situation.
Gotcha. I think it's more the disclosure, like you said, what I'm concerned about in the sense of more of the social dynamics, because here on Maui, a lot of people just kind of have a negative connotation towards realtors. So whenever I, cold call sellers, right away, one of the first questions they ask, "Oh, are you an agent?" It's like this immediate, like, ugh,
Sure.
So that's my concern as far as
you could always say, I'm a real estate investor that got their license so I could save money along the way.
I like that.
But also, like, you've been in sales. This is still sales. It's just different. Like, when you're sitting down representing somebody as an agent, you're applying for the job of helping them buy or sell, right? When you're sitting down with them as an investor, you're building the skills of getting discounted properties, of getting really good deals. So if you want to be a real estate investor, I mean, that's the path. I mean, that's where you want to go. Being your own, and this is coming from somebody that's had a license for 18 years. You have to learn a tremendous amount of skills to be actually good. Like Pace said, most agents make less than 30 grand or around 30 grand or whatever it is, right? Yeah. And so you have to like really commit to being good at that. And there's some really phenomenal agents, and it's a craft for sure. But then there's also this business that you're growing. You're an entrepreneur. You are your own client at this point. So I think it's 100%. And I think that if you with your personality and with confidence and kindness go out there and treat everybody dope, they're going to be fine with you having a license or not having a license. So it's really up to you if you feel like it's going to give you, an advantage or make you feel more confident out there. If it's not going to affect your confidence, then what's the point? You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah. I think for me, the reason why I'm even considering that path is just to open up more sources for deals. And plus, if this has been my genius up until now, why not use it to strengthen the other geniuses that I'm learning from you guys? So that's been my reasoning behind it. It's just yet another tool. It's just yet another bridge from where I can source relationships, deals, etc.
Marina, I'm going to give you some individual advice, okay? Mm-hmm. The reason why people choose to have mentors is because everybody needs an individualized answer, okay? Jamil, myself, Brent, we meet thousands of people. Just in the last 2-3 weeks, I've met 2,000 people in our community. 2,000 people.
More than that.
Just in the last couple of weeks, right? So when we talk to people, what I fear is when somebody asks me a question in the middle of a circle of 30, 40 people, and they ask a question about their individual situation, their individual marriage, their individual whatever. And I'm fearful. I always tell everybody, go, do not listen to this because this advice is not for you. It is for the person I'm talking to right now. And if you have something very similar going on, then maybe you can draw some parallels here. But I can tell you when you're learning things on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, or whatever short form content there is out there, and you hear a Beardy Brandon, who's a good friend of ours, we love him, and he says, choose one bridge, he is talking to a completely different human being. Okay. Mm-hmm. Here's what happens. We run into people and they say, Pace, I've been following you on YouTube for 2 years and I still haven't gotten my first deal. And I say, great. What have you been doing? And they go, well, I went and did this. Then I went and did this. Then I went and did this. Then I went and did this. And I go, moly, man. You know what you need to do is you need to realize that you're the kind of person that needs to just focus on one thing until you get some results. Then you can start opening up to other things. So the advice for that person is not advice that I would give you. Mm-hmm. Okay. I also, today I told one of my students, I said, how much, he goes, I want more in life. And I go, okay, what's going on in your life? And he tells me, and I go, how much money do you have in your bank account? He says, I have 60 grand. I go, empty your bank account and go invest that $60,000 into something. And tomorrow have $0 in your bank account. Horrible advice for 97% of people on the planet.
Yeah.
But for somebody like me, and also somebody like Brent Daniels, Jamil, I'm on the fence on this. I think Jamil likes to see a little bit of jingle jangle in his bank account. But for me, if I see a 0 in my bank account, I will work 10 times harder.
Hungry.
Other people, when they're not comfortable, they can't function. They literally just shut down, then they go into depression. When I have no money, I amplify my results. My very best deals I've ever negotiated are when I had no money. Mm-hmm. And my worst deals I've negotiated are when I had plenty of money. Mm-hmm. Okay. That's a personality thing, Marina. And so for me, I would make sure that you have to understand your individual personality of what benefits you as an individual. This is why people have mentors and coaches. Sorry. Still recovering from a cough. Okay. But you guys have to be careful of what you're listening to on even if it's a YouTube and we're talking to you as an individual, this is really good advice, talking to you specifically. But if you're watching an Instagram, a reel, a short form content, guys, that stuff is meant to be entertainment, not actual education.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I like that. This is almost like cathartic, where essentially, like in a more feminine language, you're like, trust your own path, trust your heart.
Yeah, no, what is Shakespeare say? Shakespeare says the best advice you'll get from Shakespeare is he says, know thyself. Mm-hmm. You have to know thyself. You have to know what works for you. And unfortunately, the advice we spew, we're so confident in our advice because we have met with, talked to, coached, and seen results of thousands of people be successful. So when we come across with advice, we're freaking confident. And sometimes our confidence on YouTube or some of these short form content platforms comes across as very specific advice for that individual. And that really is not the case. So while I do believe Brandon is giving advice really perfect for one subset of people, it might not be good advice for you. Mm-hmm. I can't choose one path. I can tell you one friend of mine, Mr. Tom Kroll, when he gave me this advice, I immediately knew he did not know who I was at the time. The advice Tom Kroll gave me is he says, Pace, you just need to focus on one business and just really do that one business really, really well. And I'm like, bro, I'm the Elon Musk of real estate. I got Neuralink going on. I got Tesla going on. I got Boring Company going on. I got Twitter. I got this, and I'm going to dominate all of them because that's my individual personality. Mm-hmm. So when he gave me that advice, I smiled and I nodded and I go, I love you because you've given me other amazing advice, but I know myself and I know that advice does not fit this person. So if somebody told me choose one path in real estate, I'd say, I'm not going to choose wholesale or fix and flip or buy and hold because I'm going to choose how to find distressed properties and I'm going to utilize all the tools to solve every single person's problem.
Right.
Okay. So you have to make that determination. I would tell you that being an agent will amplify the tools you have to solve people's problems. I don't have that tool in my bag. Mm-hmm. And again, when you get into the top 1% of agents, go watch the Monique Walker episodes we've had on Wholesale Hotline. And you'll truly understand Jamil's beautiful business model, and you get around those types of agents, being licensed is an asset because they won't trust you unless you are licensed.
Mm-hmm.
Become friends with those agents.
Okay.
Good question, though. Really appreciate you coming on today.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you for everything
Nice
you
to meet
do.
you.
All right, Tracy Ritchie, she's in her car. Let's go to Tracy. How you doing?
There's Tracy.
Hello.
I'm good. Hi, guys.
What's up?
Nothing. Working on my business. I'm newly self-employed and just really working on I guess acquisition. I'm looking on finding those ugly houses. So I didn't really have a question. I just came into this side chat to see what was going on. But since I have the forum, I want to thank y'all.
Hey, thank you so much. And what market are you in, Tracy?
Well, yeah, that's another bit of new news. So I live near Amarillo, and I started only in Amarillo until I joined TTP, and now I'm in Dallas Fort Worth, which is crazy because I'm already noticing how much more contact other wholesalers have had with these sellers. So it's a whole different beast, but it is exciting. So that's something new.
Yeah, here's the great thing though. Jamil talks about this all the time. He says, I want to go where there's traffic.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I want to jump into oncoming traffic, which is where competition, you got to change competition to collaboration. When Jamil and I go to DFW, we will get 400-500 people that converge on a 2-hour, 3-hour meetup. And you ask the question of how many of you guys are making money together, and like 80% of the room, hands go straight up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's super cool. I got to make my way out there.
I did think when you said the big difference between Amarillo and Dallas Fort Worth, my brain immediately said the amount of teeth people have. I immediately thought. But
we're really nice here in Amarillo, although we might not have as many teeth. But
Tracy, tell me something amazing. Have you made friends in DFW yet?
Have I made friends? No.
And that means
I need
no.
to.
You need to immediately go in the side chat. I see DFW sub 2 students. I see DFW Astro students. I see DFW TTP students. You need to tap into the local community right now, immediately. Tonight. Put your email in the side chat and have everybody reach out to you that's in DFW and go make some friends.
And Shannon's in Amarillo too. There she is. All right. Connect, Tracy. Squad up. She does a phenomenal job in the Rhino tribe of connecting with a lot of the people around the country. So you should have plenty of people at DFW to connect with there.
And Shannon says she does have teeth, so that's awesome.
That's awesome. 2 for 2.
If people don't get this by now, I have to tease everybody that's not in Arizona. That's it. If you don't live in Arizona, this is the greatest market of all time. It's the most competitive. Would you guys still say that Arizona is the most competitive, or are there more competitive places, Jamil?
I don't think so. I think Arizona still nails it with the competition. We got so many big operations going on over here. I mean, I would say the Dallas, Texas market is like right on our heels, and Atlanta right there as well.
San Diego.
Yeah, I mean, I've met fewer in San Diego than Dallas, but you probably know more San Diegans than I do. Just because of Todd, right? He's doing a lot out there, isn't he?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
What, Todd Toback?
Mm-hmm.
Very nice. All right, so I've got a couple of people on the side. The studio, I've got a gentleman named NS. We're gonna bring him on here. NS, how do we actually say your name? What is your real name?
Unmute.
No smoking. No sound.
No sound.
We'll come back to you. Figure out how to unmute yourself. We'll come back to you. Mr. Rob Sema, how you doing, brother?
Hey, how are you guys?
Really, really good, man. Good to see you again.
Hello.
I saw you yesterday.
I did see you yesterday. Got to hang out. Fantastic time. My wife really enjoyed it too.
Cool. Because I told you need to make so much freaking money. You waste $30,000 a month on her.
I'm on it.
Yes, you are. So
I
what
emptied
do you
out my
got for us
bank account
tonight?
today.
What do you got for us, brother?
I just want to say hi.
Oh, you just want to say hi? Come on, man. What? How can you help people, Rob? Let's talk about that. How can you help people?
I can help people who are doing wholesale deals and who need EMD funds, or they need funds for double closing. This is an approach called Gator method, and I am, beside Pace, the Gator King. So I have lots of a big team. We can handle pretty much any transaction that comes our way, up until, doing EMD for multifamilies and bigger projects, commercial stuff. So we're here for you. I am sub 2. Happy to help out. I am the Rob Sema everywhere.
Awesome.
Thank you, Rob.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Rob.
you, brother. Thank you so much.
Love you guys.
Too bad.
Rob's awesome guy. Isn't it? People are saying they really like the live format. Do you guys like the live format?
I love it.
Fun.
Let's keep it going. This is exciting to me. I mean, that guy had a background just like yours. I mean, look, I didn't know if it was you or him talking. What was going on there?
I don't know, bro. That, I guess real recognize real. I don't know.
Yeah.
Julian, here we go. You ready? You driving around? It looks like it's dangerous. Are you good to go?
Hi, yes, I'm good. Hello.
What's up, brother? Last time I saw you, I think I saw you at the Keegley meetup with that long ass hair of yours.
Yes, it was such an honor to meet you guys, and it's such a pleasure to see you again on Wholesale Hotline. How you been?
Really good. What do you got for us tonight?
So I have actually stopped pursuing single family homes over in the Phoenix market, just because I've seen like it's kind of competitive, and I'm looking more towards mobile home parks over in Florida, and I've been calling them for a few weeks, and every time I reach LLCs that I haven't been able to get the owner's information because they have the screening that you mentioned that you have with I can't remember the wording that you said, but it's basically yes.
Yeah.
When it's like the first introduction of speaking to them and they're like, hello, and I answer, hey, this is Julian, how you doing? What would you recommend is the best way to introduce yourself so that way it doesn't feel too awkward and it's just not like another sales call?
It's funny. I made a bunch of calls today, and the calls I made were, hey, I want to get a piece of real estate before the end of the year. My name is Pace, and I'm trying to buy a piece of real estate before the end of the year. I'm not introducing myself besides my name is Pace, and I'm trying to buy a piece of real estate before the end of the year. That's it. The problem is you got to make 1,000 of those calls.
It's going to be your tone too, your tone and your confidence, right? You have a vocal first impression, and it's really important. So you got to sound like you've talked to them before. You got to sound very like you do this, and you want to communicate with them right away, right? And then you sound like their neighbor. If you call them by their first name. You know what I mean? Do a little bit of digging. If you're going to go after mobile home parks, then do some digging and find out if it's owned by an LLC. Find out who owns that LLC and call them up. You know what I mean?
And the fastest way to make a conversation awkward is asking somebody how they're doing.
How you doing?
Oh my God. No, because you don't know them and you don't really care. And they know that. And so it's, it's the inauthenticity of the question that makes sales calls feel weird, right? Because you don't care. You don't really care how they're doing, where they are. I mean, you don't, right? And so get to the point. I think what Pace is saying is, look, I'm this person, and this is why I'm calling you. We're
get to it fast.
We're getting to the business quick.
Powerful. Thank you so much.
Love it. Thank you, Julian. Appreciate you. Andrew, what do you got, bro? You just turned your camera off. Well, you got to take your shirt. You got to switch. Okay, we'll take him off for a minute. The live format is great. Michael, what up, dog? What do you got for us today? Three, 2, 1, bye. I mean, you got to be on it. You know what I'm saying? You got to be on it. Business investing. What do you got for us tonight, brother?
Can y'all see me?
I mean, we can see you, but you got to turn off your other computer that's listening to us at the same time.
Yeah. Can y'all hear me, man?
Okay, bye. Ty, how you doing, brother?
Hey, there he is.
Yo, what's up? Hold on, wait. Hold on.
Woo!
There we go.
Jamil, how good was that freaking Fresno meetup, bro?
Dude, Fresno was lit. You know what's so great is that I've known Brent the longest here.
Yeah.
And I can remember calling Brent and saying, who's this Pace Morby cat? Who's Jamil? Do you think you could introduce me? And I'm just like so blown away, dude, to be a part of your community. Everything you do, everything, the way that you, even like this week, how many Zoom calls? I just saw your schedule. Like how many Zoom calls you're doing, pushing out. Jamil, coming back from Fresno, dude, my phone was melting. You were like, oh, you're in California, hit up Ty. You're in the Bay Area, hit up Ty. So you guys are so good to your communities, man. I love it. And TTP, what can I say, man? If you're not talking to people, what else is there, right?
That's the whole business.
So
Ty, that
it,
Fresno meetup was so unbelievable,
good.
dude. You guys created an amazing energy. If you guys are in NorCal, anywhere in NorCal, Ty, where are you doing deals?
So we're in East Bay, which would be like Contra Costa County, Solano County, Alameda County, on the other side of the bridge from San Francisco. And then we're in Sacramento and parts of the Central Valley, Fresno, San Joaquin Valley, Stockton. And we're doing a NorCal meetup, kind of like an end of the year, the unofficial holiday party. We're going to do something in Walnut Creek, California on Saturday the 17th. So just, man, love the vibe. Love what you did with Golden Ticket. The premiere party looks so lit. Sorry I couldn't be there, man. So lit, dude. You guys just do it at the highest level, man. And I love all that you give. Everyone here, the Go-Giver community. This is the ultimate Go-Giver community. So, man, I just love everything you guys are doing.
We love you, brother. It was so fun hanging out with you, watching what you do. All the help that you do and the squad that you have. Guys, if you're looking to join a team, if you're looking to do deals with people anywhere in Northern California, Ty is the guy. Also, private money. You guys looking to invest? This is a guy I would invest my money in. Ty is unbelievable. He's a major leader in all of our communities. People, bro, you get so many people their first deals. It's ridiculous.
It's fun, man. I love, that's the whole, it's interesting too, because, even like, so Brent, coming from where we're so used to foxholing and no distractions, and you just got to be on the phones 3-4 hours a day. Yep. And, and don't get me wrong, we're still very focused on our daily activities, but, being able to make yourself available to help other students, help new people in the community, just by squadding up, man. I can say the whole concept of squadding up, collaboration, over competition, you guys have brought that energy in such a big way. And I feel like at the same time, we're just getting started. So
100%. That's what I thought at the big premiere party. I was like, this is the beginning. People were like, we're so proud of what you've accomplished. I'm like, well, first off, it's we all have done this. We couldn't do Jack without Ty. We couldn't do Jack with the Ingrids of the world, with, Dan Quijanos of the world, unbelievable leaders out there. And I thought, looking at Jamil, I was like, bro, I winked at him. I was like, we just barely started. So thank you guys. Thank you, Ty. We love you, man. How can people reach out to you? Got an email or what's your Instagram or whatever you want to do?
Yeah. So very simple. Email ty@tylg.com, ty@tylg.com. Thank you guys so much. Great to see you guys. Thank you again for coming to Fresno. It was epic. Thank you.
Anytime, brother. We love you.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Love you, bro.
All right, we got Ty is so epic, dude. We got Gladys.
He has done a lot of business. I mean, Ty has been around a long time. I mean, he's done it all. He was a top agent, top investor, top lender. I mean, he is an absolute dynamic human. He's incredible. Yeah. Everybody should know Ty. Everybody should know Ty.
Isabella just said, what's Ty's contact? Guys, he just told you his contact. It's ty@tylg.com. It's his email. He just gave it to you. So you got it. All right, Gladys Patterson, give me a smile if you're ready. Okay, she didn't want to. She didn't.
Ty was the fifth person that signed up for TTP.
Get out of here.
Fifth person. Yeah. Anyway,
Gladys, how you doing?
Yeah, I just wanted to say hello. I joined in October at the end, and I've been trying to wholesale since 2017. And taking this course, it was so much I didn't know. But now I'm like, I have so much information. I'm feeling a little lost. I do understand a lot of the concepts and the information, but I think it's, what is it called? Paralysis of analysis.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Gladys, what did you join? What mentorship did you join? Brent Daniels?
Excuse me?
Which one did you join? Brent Daniels, Astro Flipping, Sub 2, what did you join?
Astro.
Okay, cool. Here's what I would tell you about Astro Flipping. Incredible community.
It is.
Okay. So what market are you in?
Well, I live in New York, tri-state, and I also have a house that I'm trying to move to, but I still have a 9-to-5 in New Jersey.
Where do you want to wholesale deals?
I want to wholesale where there's action.
Okay, so North Carolina, you said.
Yeah, North Carolina.
Okay, I would say North Carolina is very, very strong community, very strong, a lot of action. Here's what I would do. I would reach out to Chad Glover. Okay, Chad Glover. I'll even give you his freaking email right here on the live. Chad Glover. Okay. And I would say, hey, Chad, Pace challenged me to do a deal with you in the next 60 days. And then Jamil's gonna also have another person in not Charlotte necessarily, but in North Carolina. Jamil, you know anybody off the top of your head?
Oh yeah, we got a ton. Come to the call tomorrow night, Gladys, and we'll get you introduced to people. You gotta come to these calls.
No, I do.
The key piece is turning on your camera and getting loud on them.
I know. I've been on almost every call.
Amazing. Well, Gladys, here's what I would suggest. Okay.
Yes.
Couple of things that I have learned from the old wholesale world and the old creative finance world. I've paid for courses too. I will never pay for a course ever again in my life that doesn't have a thriving, outrageously connected community attached to it. If you don't have a community, because here's what it is. We all need less videos. We all need less information. We need more implementation through community.
Exactly.
And so what
I want to take action, because a lot of these courses I took, and you probably know some of them, I don't want to mention the names, and these are the top guys that I took it with. I took action, but then I stopped, and I don't want that to happen.
You stopped because you didn't have friends by your side, community members. Yeah. That's what you need. You need that. Okay. So one thing I love about Jamil is he's so freaking consistent on his Zooms. Tomorrow night, guess what? It's Tuesday night. I know exactly where Jamil will be. Okay. And Jamil, here's what I would do, Gladys. I would raise your hand in Jamil's Zoom and go, Jamil, can you find me somebody to squat up with in North Carolina? And he'll find somebody for you tomorrow night.
Okay. Yeah. And I had like some concern with the squat up. Like they say in squat up, what do I do? What's expected of me in squatting up?
It depends on who you squat up with. If you squatted up with me, I'd tell you exactly what I would have you do. I would figure out your personality, what you're good at. And I would go, okay, Gladys, you're going to be good at cold calling. Okay. Maybe not. Gladys, you good at texting? Okay. Maybe not. Gladys, you good at door knocking? Okay. Maybe not. Gladys, you know what you could be really good at? Agent outreach. And I would say, all right, Gladys, every night you're going to sit in my office or you're going to be on a Zoom with me and we're going to call 10 agents every single night together for the next 30 days. That's squatting up.
Okay. That's because I wasn't sure. I didn't know what to ask for. I didn't know, like, okay.
Well, I just answered it for you. There you go.
I know. I got it.
Boom. And I would be doing is I would find one of the Astro Flipping community members and say, hey, can you walk me through? Because here's the thing. Videos are amazing. Community will trump any video all day long. What I would do is I would say, what Astro Flipping student could benefit from me calling 10 agents every single night when I get home from work? And when I get an opportunity, they want to make money with me. And what they'll do is they'll take that deal. I've watched this happen thousands of times in Astro Flipping. Thousands. New student comes into the program. Experienced student says, come to me. I'll be your structure.
Right.
You work with 10 agents when you run into something you've never heard before. I've been trained by Jamil. I know exactly what to say. So you go create these situations. And because we're on a live Zoom together, I'm calling agents, you're calling agents. You just wave at me and go, I got a question. And that other Astro Flipping student will answer that question for you and continually encourage you, give you a place to be plugged into. And when you get an agent that's ready to sell you a good deal at a good discount, the person that is helping you stay accountable is the person that you make money with. You give them the ability to make the money on the deal with you.
That makes sense.
There you go.
Glass, are you doing this part-time or full-time?
Part-time, because I really want to fire my job. I'm grateful for it, but it doesn't make me happy.
Is it a regular 9 to 5?
Regular 9 to 5, yeah.
When do you set aside time? Do you have like sacred time that you commit to this business?
I've been going to bed late. That's why I have these, just to try to get through the material and understand it. I try to listen to it in the car, but it's not as good as doing it like just sitting down and focusing on that. But yeah, I do like 2-3 hours with whatever I can do. I set aside time for it.
What are you doing for lead?
Holidays, I'm a little.
What are you doing for lead generation?
For lead, I don't want to say this on here, but I'm from another platform. And I do have a tool, but I said I wanted to make my first deal, and then I'll hop on to Privy and the other applications that you guys have.
So what you got to do, Gladys, is you got to come to the call tomorrow, because I can tell exactly what's going on. Nothing. I'm gonna call it straight out. You don't even know the methods that we use.
I do.
And going after. I mean, I'm gonna call it out. He asked you, "What are you doing for lead generation?" You looked at him blank in the face.
No, I do. I have lead generation, but I just didn't want to say it on this live call. I do have a lead.
I mean, listen. It's no one is gonna give you any hell for doing things different ways. That's fine, but you've got to at least have your numbers. You got to say, listen, this is what I do from the hours of 6 to 8. I'm calling 30 realtors, or I'm calling 20 homeowners, or I'm looking at 10 houses that are 30, 60, 90 days online. I'm comping them to see if there's any deals there. That's lead gen, right? And so again, the fact is that even if you don't know that, it's okay. It's okay, but it means that there's a big gap between what you're learning right now and what's being retained. Right. So what I want to do is I want to get you back on the call so that you can connect with all the community members there, because there's a ton of them. There's a ton of people in North Carolina. There's a ton of people in New York. We just did a 2,800 person meetup in New Jersey where there were.
I would have been there, but I was in North Carolina.
But again, there were, thousands of other investors, people that you would know. The fact is that the community is thriving, not only in your local area, but in all the areas that you're wanting to work in. So if you don't have connections to people there, the responsibility sits on your shoulder. Yes. It does. You have to make those connections. You have to come out and you got to say, guys, this is who I am. I have my camera on. I'm Gladys. I want to do deals with you in North Carolina. Let's chat.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's also the reason I asked that, Gladys, is when you're going to squat up, when you're going to make those connections with people, they want to be around people that are generating opportunities. They want people that are being proactive. And there's always a spot going to be, hey, I don't understand this term, or I don't understand this process, or I don't understand this system, or whatever else. And that's cool. And they got a ton of staff to help you with that. But the bottom line is you need to bring real opportunities to the table so that you have real things to talk about, because that's what gets everybody excited. Well, so when you say squat up,
even beyond that, like if you're running into problems, the first question anyone's going to ask you is, okay, Gladys, tell me your numbers.
Right.
Like how many outreach, text messages, calls, what's your talk time? What are your KPIs? If you have no KPIs to report, that means that you wouldn't have taken any steps towards getting a deal done, because you don't have that process. And that's okay. It's totally okay to be in that spot, but being really aware of where you really are versus where you want to be is the thing, right? And the beautiful thing about the community, Astro, Sub2, TTP, is we've got people that are coming in from all different levels, people that are coming in from different ways of doing business, and all of them want to be helpful. All of them want to connect, and they're willing to take somebody who's brand new and pull them right across the line with them. But they have to see that person's investing in themselves. They're putting in the time. They're coming in. They're turning their camera on. You just jumped on this live today, which is super brave and awesome. And so I know that you'll do that on tomorrow's call. You'll come on and
this is not my first time on camera. It's just that I wasn't chosen, but I've been on camera 3 times.
Awesome.
Good. So this whole concept of squatting up is connecting. Okay. You should know at minimum 20 people in the community within the first month. And if you haven't done that, then there's a disconnect there.
Because I wasn't sure, really, guys. I'm just plugging away at my studies, the modules, and then I'm itching. I said I want to talk to people. I want to talk to agents. I'm not afraid. I mean, I've done it before. Before I did cold calls to sellers. it didn't get anywhere. It just didn't. I was just calling and getting nowhere with that. So yeah, I'm ready to start. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid to talk to people. Hey.
Awesome. You also need to really connect. You need to really connect. And the more that you do that and the less defensiveness you have in the process, the better off it'll be, I promise.
Okay. All right. So I'll start. When do I start? Today connecting or tomorrow?
You can start now. There's 605 people on the live call right now, and everyone there's got to be at least a dozen of them that are in the markets that you want to work in.
Okay.
Guys, let's squad up with Gladys.
Put your info in the chat.
Okay, what am I putting in there?
Put your phone number.
Oh, okay.
I mean, if you're comfortable with that, if it's an email, if it's whatever, just do, whatever you're comfortable with, put it in there and people can start reaching out. Guys, reach out. If you're in North Carolina, right? No?
Well, like I said, I have a house in North Carolina, but
okay.
I'm still working my 9 to 5 here, New Jersey, but I live in New York. It's
okay. Got it.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Thanks, guys.
You got it.
All right. Have a good evening.
All right. Matt, I'm going to have you control it. Pace went to Corbin's dance recital.
Okay.
Did you see that? Beautiful pick. Awesome. Let's bring on Michael. Michael, you ready, bud? There we go.
I'm ready, guys.
Hey,
thanks for having me on here, guys. You guys are awesome. I've been learning a lot from you guys. So I've been trying to get into wholesaling for a minute here. Probably pretty much going hard since April. Kind of slacked a little bit, not gonna lie to you, but now I'm going hard again. My brother and I are generating leads to the MLS, making pretty much these calls all day, every day, trying to make about 60 to 80 if I can. But realistically, when the conversations go on, it goes down to about 20 or 30. So I kind of started going into, I got some things under contract, couldn't sell them, meaning that I didn't have the team or the buyers on my side. Maybe the deal wasn't good enough. It's my fault. I'm trying to learn it still. So now I'm trying to get in a little bit of the creative part here. So seller financing. I'm running into, I know Pace just left. I'm running into a lot of issues right now with these sellers who are wanting like 30% down, 9% interest and 2-year balloons. And it's like, how do I tackle these things? I know that not everything's going to be a deal, but how do I negotiate to where it's like, okay, maybe like, because my guys who want these, because I'm doing a lot of reach to buyers, right? So I got a lot of cash buyers, but they're at 10% down, 3% interest max, and 5 to 8, maybe even 10-year balloons. But it's tough for me to negotiate with these agents because there's also agents involved too, right? So they got to get paid as well.
Yep.
So I got to be upfront with them and figure out how to get them paid with, through my assignments. And I'm okay with that. I'm totally okay with that. I just got to increase my gap a bit, I guess, when it comes to, my assignments so I get them paid. What's your guys' advice on that? Do I just keep pounding the calls? Do I just keep like working with the agents and kind of, reach out?
These are on market?
Them, or
Michael,
these are all
on
MLS?
So they're getting paid by the seller.
Yeah, but if he does creative, that could change the entire mechanism, right? Because there may not be enough money there. The thing that you have to keep in mind, or the thing that you have to explain to these agents when you are pitching creative deals, is that they can't offer you something that's worse than or the same as what you'd get at a bank.
Right.
Right. And that's the thing that they need to, you haven't quite shown them the value of it yet deep enough for them to understand, okay, I get it. He's not giving me price, but we're going to get price, but we have to give them a much better term in order to get that price to make it make sense. Right. And so you can't have both. If you're going to say, look, I'm going to do a creative deal with you, but I'm going to make you come with actually a worse situation than what a bank would be, 30% down and 2-year balloon. I mean, come on, right? I would do better than that at a bank right now. I could go 15 or 10% down at a bank and get whatever interest rate and have it for 30 years if I wanted. So this doesn't make any sense. So that would be the argument to your agents to try to get them to understand why that doesn't make any sense or why that wouldn't be an advantageous negotiation for you to take. But on the other side of that, you're going to have a lot of those conversations for you to find the ones that are going to be open to, because a lot of times what's happening is the seller or the agent, they have this number stuck in their head of what they need to walk away from this situation with. And oftentimes the creative deal doesn't get them that.
Nope.
Right.
Yeah, I see a lot of people, Michael, that are going after these free and clear properties of these investors that have these big portfolios, and they're trying to throw out, 10% down, 3% interest in a 5 to 10 year balloon, and they laugh at you.
Yeah.
They do, because
Yep.
there's no motivation there. So you have to see if there is motivation. Now, I'm not saying don't call them. I'm not saying don't have those conversations. But what I'm saying is you need to pull out, what is the motivation? Do they actually have they made the decision that no matter what, they're going to sell this property? Because it's either price or terms.
Yeah.
So what do they want? Do they want price or terms in this market and what's going on? And if they think that it's just going to all of a sudden magically, the market's going to turn around and it's going to be a rampant appreciation like it was the last few years, they're wrong. I mean, it's just not going to happen. So either they got to hold on to it for a few more years and be fine with that, or they can come to terms and you can get serious about making sure that you take this this problem off of their hands. But they have to have a problem you can solve. If there's no problem for you to solve, then why, they're just going to hold on to it. So our job is to discover what is the problem that they have and see what will solve it. Is it going to be a cash offer, which we go first, cash, then you go creative.
Perfect. Yeah, I mean, that's what I also been asking them. I'm saying, okay, well, if they don't get their price they want, like, what are they going to do? Are they going to rent it out? Are they going to hold on to it? And then for the creative part, I say, okay, what are you guys really looking for? Are you guys looking for the monthly payments? Are you guys looking for the cash up front? Or are you guys looking for the 8-year balloon? So, I was talking to one lady yesterday. She's like, I just want to be on a ship with my husband. That's all I want. And so I'm like, okay, so you want the cash up front, or do you want the security of the monthly payment for the next 8 years? And she's like, just, present it to me and I'll see what I can do. I don't want to be a landlord anymore. Okay, there's her problem. She doesn't want to be a landlord, but she still wants the benefits of it, right? She can still get the monthly payment without the headache. So I'm trying to explain that to her, and she's just willing to bite. But yeah, I've just figured that, if they're already at 30%, they're not willing to negotiate, just move on. That's where I'm thinking I got to be. Just keep going.
Yeah. And get rid of bad leads. It's like one of the toughest parts of our business is getting rid of somebody that's nice to us, but we're not even close.
Yep.
We're not even close. Right. Like, you find what you're looking for. So if you're looking for somebody that's going to sign a agreement this week, you will find it. But you won't find it if you're buried underneath all the other people that you're doing lead follow-up with, or all the other people that you have high hopes for, all the other people that you're like, if in your mind you say to yourself, if I can only convince them, it's not a lead. It's not a deal. You're never going to convince anybody. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, you need to go out there. You need to find what is their problem, and you need to solve that problem, right? And sometimes you got to dig deep. You got to hurt them to heal them a little bit. You got to really see what's underneath their force field, because they'll put a force field on, especially agents, because that's their job. But then they'll, if they've gotten beat up and a lot of offers have fallen out or whatever else, they're going to open up.
The other thing I think you should take a look at is, and I've been saying this to a lot of the Astro community, but everybody needs to pay attention to this. Look at the listing history when you're going on market, right? What has the frequency of the property be going under contract and falling out of contract been? How many price reductions have they had? That's going to really tell you a lot about what's happening in the motivation or in the minds of the seller. So keep that very top of mind when you're doing these things, and make sure that you're paying attention to those metrics.
Yep. That's one of the things we do, is we make sure we look at those, and we look at how many times the price has been changed, if it's been increased. I've been seeing them going increased, right? But we look at all that. So, I mean, I think we're on the right path there. I just, we're very close. It's like, I can taste it. I've been trying to get this, and I'm waiting for Brett to ring that bell for me, so we're going to keep going.
Where do you live,
once I
bro?
do get done, I'm in Vegas right now.
Is that where you're doing deals?
Yeah, so I'm trying to do them here. I also went out to Florida, got a couple under contract, and then Hurricane Ian hit, and everything kind of fell out. So I'm
Have
like,
you connected
I'd rather
with
be boots on the ground.
Have you connected with my franchise out there, Jameson?
No, I haven't.
Okay,
No, I
DM me
connected
on
with
my
Sammy in Florida though.
DM me on my IG, and I'll connect you to some people in Vegas that'll be very helpful for you.
Awesome. I appreciate it. I really do. You guys are awesome, and I'll keep watching you guys and keep educating everybody. You guys are great.
Take care, bro.
Thanks, brother.
All right. Thanks, guys.
See ya. See you, Michael. Let's go. Who's next there, Matt? No, we had Marina. Gladys, we had Howard. Howard looks next. Boom.
Hi.
Howard.
How you doing?
What's
Hey.
up, man? Where are you from?
I'm from Pennsylvania.
Awesome. What part?
Right, like 20 or 30 minutes from Philadelphia.
Awesome. Is that your market?
Yes, and also Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Awesome. Talk to us. What's going on?
So this is my biggest problem right now. I actually typed it up so I wouldn't forget. How much time should I spend per deal when I'm cold calling my code violations list? Because I find myself like I would start at 8 o'clock. Like for example, this morning I started at 8 and it's like 1 o'clock, and I feel like I've only done like 20 calls because I'm spending so much time per one trying to even see if it's a deal.
Are you comping properties before you talk to somebody?
Yes.
Why?
Because I want to get the max allowable offer and then subtract like
You got to find out if they got to sell first.
Yeah.
Don't do the due diligence until you find out if they want to sell.
Okay, so just go down the code violations list or like
Yep.
whatever market I have and call them, even see if they're interested.
Yeah, what happens when you call them, Howard, and they don't want to sell that house, but they have an even shittier house down the street? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you don't know anything until you have the conversation. So you got to reach out before you do the research. Okay. And then, from a confidence standpoint, do you have somebody that you could squat up and run numbers with in your markets?
No, I'm actually teaching my friends everything I've learned from you and trying to like get us all in a group together and do everything. Because my buddy's working on his duplex right now. He's actually working on his first floor and he's running out the top. So he's kind of busy at the moment. So it's kind of just me right now.
Find somebody in these lives, in my live on Wednesday, on Jamil's on, is it still live? Are you still
Sunday?
doing it? Sunday? Yep. And squat up with somebody that is a few steps ahead of you, right, Howard? Okay. Because they're going to pull you faster. They're going to pull you faster to it. They don't even have to be in your market, bro. You know what I mean? But just find somebody to connect with that's closing a deal a week, 2 deals a month. 3 deals, you know what I mean? Just a couple of steps ahead of you. Be brave with it. You're already doing the calls. You're already being super proactive. You know how to. You know that you're building something here, and you're excited about it. So share that.
Awesome.
For real. You got to squat up with somebody somebody that's a few steps ahead. For sure. And then it'll help all your crew that are excited about what you're doing as well. But don't do any research until you have that conversation, because you never know where that deal's going to land. You never know if you're going to get something that you didn't even know was available or that they wanted to sell until you have that conversation.
Very true. Yeah, I see it in the linked properties on a prop stream all the time. I see people with like 8 properties when I just call the one. And actually today I got some lady. She has like 2 other properties, and she said she'll give me a call back. They're actually going through probate right now, and she said she likes my offer, so she'll get back to me once probate's over. So that's one of the things I kind of liked about today. But yeah, I definitely understand what you meant by that, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah. And just keep going. Just keep going. It's a skill, and you're developing it every single day. Just make sure that you are staying consistent with it. Make sure that you're having a lot of fun with it. And if your friends are excited about it, they better be making calls too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm trying to get them to do it, but like they're kind of like, see, this is where like I tell them like just get in it, but they're like they want to see me like do something first, and then I'm just like, okay, that makes sense, I guess. Like they want to make sure it's real. And I'm telling them it's real. I'm like, watch the videos. I'm like, well, watch Brant, and like I love watching your videos.
Yeah.
So, but maybe it'll work out, maybe not. But yeah, no, I'm gonna keep going for it. I started like a month and a half ago. I've had some people in the contract and fell through, but I'm gonna keep pushing. I'm gonna get my.
You're doing amazing. If it's only been 6 weeks, you're doing amazing. Yeah, keep it going for real.
Thank you, sir.
For real, you're gonna look back on this video like 6 months from now, let alone 6 years from now, and be like, "Wow, look at me! Look at me in my beanie and in my house or office or whatever that is." And you're gonna be on the high rise or something.
Yes, sir. That's the plan.
That's
where are you at? You said your mom's office or house?
My mom's house.
Yeah,
cool.
Awesome. You're gonna look at this. Will be a snapshot. You'll look back and you'll be like, "Hell yeah."
Oh yeah, and Jamil, yeah. Oh, I think I said that right. Sorry. I see you all the time on my Instagram, like all your ads, like with you up against a tree. I swear to God, I see it every day. It's great. I just remember that. Thanks, guys.
Well, I'm happy they bring some joy to your day.
Dude, I mean they do. I have a little laugh, and then I read the whole description. And I'm like, do I go for the course? Because it's just like I'm so scared, but I don't have like the money to do it yet. But we're gonna get there.
It's all good, bro. That's why you're here.
Yep.
Yes, sir. Awesome, guys. I appreciate you taking time. Let me
Nice
come
to
on the
meet you,
stream.
Howard.
You too.
See you,
Bye-bye.
brother. All right, we got Coach here. Hey, Coach.
Yo, what's up? Fellas?
What up?
Jamil?
How you doing, baby? Good to see you.
I'm doing fantastic. Just wanted to tap in real quick and really just say thank you. Thank you for the event. Thank you for what you guys are doing tonight. Thank you for your consistency. It really means a lot. Really means a lot. Community is anybody on this call that's questioning how valuable the community is. It's not acquaintable by tangible. There's no dollar that could cross collaborate it. It's something that just is inspiring to take action. So that first golden ticket event, I got an offer submitted and negotiating right now. So that's in the process of right now.
Let's
God willing.
Get it done.
Let's go.
Stop messing around. Get it done.
That's it. That's it, man.
Good stuff, bro. It was great to see you, man. And it was awesome just to get all those people in one room together. And, you know, beyond that, the Golden Ticket event was incredible. The premiere was incredible. But, you know, what Pace and I really enjoy is watching all of the relationships that get formed.
Yep.
You know, all the people that are becoming friends, you guys all having dinner together that night. Like that's stuff that it's not happening out there. You know, it doesn't happen. And in our communities, it does. And so this is really special. It's big.
It is. It really is. So I just wanted to say thank you and just continue to be out here and just share my experience because I just closed my 3rd week, so I'm on like my 4th week here.
Awesome.
And my life's already been changed. So I'm gonna let my story be a testament of, you know, just the action that's taking place and just the value within the community. And I think that's the biggest thing, you know, is you see the success of the community and it just really helps confirm what you already know inside of you. And it just helps kind of crystallize the truth of what the community, the power of the community and, you know, how big of an opportunity that this really is. So just wanted to thank you guys, man. It's awesome.
Love you, bro.
You got it.
See you tomorrow.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
Community is everything.
It really is.
I mean, building that. I mean, you guys have been on the warpath for years, like teaching everything, teaching everybody, teaching me, teaching everybody about how to build a strong community that's going out. And not only that, like it's cool. Yeah, let's hang out. Let's connect with our, you know, friendships and support. It's even better when you go out and actually do deals.
Oh yeah. What's so
when
fun?
you go and you actually change your life.
Yeah. And I get to see, and you hear this all the time. I've watched many of your podcasts with your students and, you know, Pace as well. We have all these success stories, all these people who have literally, I mean, you know, they do one deal, then 2 deals. Like look at Michelle and Paul, you know, those people travel around the world living a life that I wish I was living. They make so much damn money.
Yeah.
You know, they're free. They're untethered, you know? Look, Katie from your, you know what I mean? Like, look at the way that these people's lives have been affected. Luke, right? Incredible stuff. So, you know, seeing all that, being able to be a part of the success of so many different lives and families is beyond amazing.
Yeah. Love it. We got Luis. Luis, you there, bud? Hey,
how you doing, guys?
Welcome.
How you doing, bro?
Oh, great. I'm actually from New Jersey, Jamel. I was in the meetup last Wednesday when you guys were there.
Nice.
So what do you think about like New Jersey with networking? I know it was a little rough crowd that night. And I just had a quick question. I mean, what do you think about areas like that where like people are kind of to themselves? They don't really, you know, want to, you know, meet with new people, or they think like, oh, you know, I'm this big shot, and they don't want to really reciprocate, you know, value. You know, what would be your advice?
I think in a environment like a nightclub, which is where Caesar and Envy decided to put that thing on, it's really hard. It's really because everyone's drinking and they're like being aggressive and they're trying to snap photos with us, and it just turns into a gong show. But I also think that there were a lot of people in there that I talked to that were probably feeling just like you were, that were like, they were like, oh, I want to talk to people, but I'm afraid to, or I don't think this person's going to like me, or this person looks like they're stuck on themselves, or they're high on themselves. And I understand what you're saying. I think that, you know, you're going to come across networking events that are like that might have a different energy, but then that shouldn't push you away from going to the next one that might be at a, you know, at a different type of venue, like at a RIA or some kind of an auditorium or some kind of a different type of hall or a hotel. You know, these opportunities to network and get to know people, they're really, really, really important. I don't think there's anything different about the New Jersey market than here in Phoenix. I don't think that anybody there was any more or less aggressive or any more or less competitive as I see us being here in this market.
Yeah.
So I think that maybe right now you're seeing just, or are you new? How new are you to the business?
Well, I'm working with a real estate, basically a wholesaler in New Jersey who did. I basically brought 2.5 million since COVID started to them, and I'm their acquisitions person. So no, I'm their acquisitions guy. So I mean, you know, for me, I definitely want to start doing my own thing soon. And you know, I was brand new to real estate. You know, I went through the college route, and you know, decided to do all that stuff. But I came across real estate and you know, wholesaling in particular, and it kind of intrigued me. So I just started learning about it, and you know, kind of fell in the rabbit hole, and just went in head first. Kind of left everything behind, and I was like, screw it, I'm just gonna do it full time. Last year I did 100,000 for myself from my cut of what I made. But I think I definitely want to start branching out because I think you know, I'm ready, and I feel like I just want to get out there and start doing it, you know, on my own. But you know,
be
a lot
the
of
magnet, Luis. You got to be the magnet. You've done that much business. Do you know how many people you could help? Do you know how many people you could have out there finding you opportunities to split those deals that have never done it before and are scared to death to try to talk to a property owner and to have you hold their hand the way through? Like you could have a huge impact in that market. Just be the magnet like Jamil is. You know what I mean? Just be that person that goes there with a ton of love and wants to help out anybody that's asking for it, and do your thing. It doesn't matter who else is there. You know what I mean? You could be the magnet and find all those opportunities, and because it's not like you're brand new, just getting into this thing, looking for somebody to walk you through it. You can help that. You can help other people do that for sure.
Yeah,
you're kind of experienced, man. It's you've got, you know, Pace says this all the time. A lot of people, when they first get started in the real estate business, the first thing they should do is go work for somebody, go work for a company that's doing it. Like, you know, how many wholesale careers Keegley has jumped off, how many franchise businesses Keegley has jumped off in our, you know, our corporate stores. And so looking at that, I think it's a real honest step, you know, and you did it right, man. You went and you learned from people who were doing it at a high level. You don't do $2.5 million in business and you don't take home $100,000 being a bullshit operation. You guys were doing it.
Yeah.
You know, and
we're
so
very legitimate.
so like, you know, first you like, and you were a big part of that, dude, right? So now you've got all that experience. Now you get to turn around and help 5-6 people. And there's people in the chat right now that want, you're in New York, New Jersey. We had Gladys on the call earlier. She feels alone. Reach out to her.
Yeah, for sure. And do you guys have, like, I would say, any tips for like scaling the business aside from, like, I know delegation is a big thing and networking as well, but like, you know, anything else if you're starting, would you say to, you know, kind of put your business out there, kind of like being that magnet, like you said?
Well, I think it depends on how you're growing it. How are you getting it? It depends. Remember, there's 3 parts: lead generation, conversion, and dispo. So what's going to be your main strategy? Are you going to go and do like the Astro model where you're building a ton of, you know, you've got a reputation because you're doing it to bring in a lot of these opportunities from referrals? Are you going to put out some marketing? Are you going to put out some, are you going to be proactive and go out and prospect? Like, what are you going to do to bring in enough opportunities? You bring in enough opportunities, you're going to get talent. Right? You're going to get really, really, really solid talent that comes in, and then you just start fitting them into the spots, right? Acquisition, junior acquisition, lead manager, dispo, whatever it is, however you want to structure it. But what I would say is make sure that you're taking the profits home. Okay.
Sure.
Listen, income minus profits equals your expenses, not income minus expenses equals your profits. You need to set a minimum standard for how much you're going to take home to your family. And it's going to make you watch your business explode. Like it will, because you're not going to get silly. Your financial thermostat is not going to be set too low, and you're gonna take the money home and buy assets, and you're gonna crush it. So take the money home for sure.
The other piece of that
all the
is
motivation.
when you are looking to scale, the thing that I tell everybody is scale the pieces that bring in the money.
Yes.
Okay, that's the piece. Always double down on the action that got you the money, not the other stuff. The other stuff is fluff. The other stuff is distraction.
Yep.
Okay, it's overhead.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like overhead. I like income.
I got you guys. I really appreciate all the talk and the mindset and everything that you guys bring, and you're providing a really good service to everybody in real estate. So I just want to thank you guys and keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you. Great to have you on here.
Great to see you, bro.
Appreciate it.
We'll see you again. Awesome. We'll do one more. Business investing. You got it on now?
I see y'all. Y'all hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
How y'all doing?
We can hear you. What's your name?
My name's Kenny. I'm from out of Philadelphia.
Hey, Kenny. What's going on?
Been watching you for a long time, Brett. And Jamil, just started watching you. Glad I can get a chance to talk to y'all. So, first of all, appreciate y'all. And Jamil, this first one is for you. And I have a question about the Privy software. So I like Privy and I like doing agent outreach. I think I found my niche. Started off a little shy, but I really got, to calling agents. Now I'm calling probably 10 a day, having regular conversations and really getting through to them. Matter of fact, I have an agent that gave me like 5 off-market listings, and I'm going to go see them tomorrow. Today I had 2 off-market listings. I have agents that saying, tomorrow I'm supposed to sign my first contract. He said that she accepted it. So, God willing, I signed my first contract tomorrow, and I've been in the community for about, I think it's my 5th week. So God willing, tomorrow I'll be signing my first deal, and I know it's going to feel so good. Even if it's $5,000, taking that from faith to fact, it's just going to be, you know what I mean?
Hold on a second. Here we go. Come on. Come on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm
definitely incredible.
Yeah. Jamil, this is where I'm having an issue with. So on Privy, I'm just going to give you a quick example. I had a property, and the property comped at $386,000, right? It was on the market for 59 days. Now, after I did the 55% for the Philadelphia market, the offer price was still at about $212,000. They asking price is $185,000. So when you got a great number and a great deal that much above the listing price, how do I supposed to go off of that? That's what I
so great question. You want to know what it is? The condition of that property is not gonna work at 55%. That's what it is. Okay, so that you'll see evidence of that when you find your listing price is lower than what the normal metric of that market should be. So what the real problem is here is buyers have gone to see that house, and when they walk the house, they're like, "Oh, this house is in way worse condition than what I thought it would be, and I need to get this like much less than at 55% of ARV." It's probably a full gut remodel that probably needs to get picked up at 35% of ARV. And so that's what that issue is when you have that price discrepancy. So here's the thing that you do, and this is the rule of thumb I typically have. If a house has been listed on the MLS for quite some time, even if it's listed at a good price, you still need to get it under contract significantly below list price in order for a buyer to see value there. It's a perception. It may not even be a real thing, but it's the perception of your buyer going to feel that they are getting a value. They need to feel that they're going to get a value. And so it has to be a discount from list price. So I get it. I see you're saying the numbers make sense. There,
Right.
it's it's listed below what the offer should be at,
How
but
much more can I take
still,
off?
there's no value there. So what I would normally do in a situation like that is I would look at the list price and I would try to get it below 30 to 50K below the list price to at least show a gap for my buyer to see that there's some value in that house.
Even if the ARV is $1 million and you getting the house for 300 grand, they still want to see a discount off that 300 grand.
If it's listed on the market and it's been there for quite some time, absolutely.
59 days.
59 days on market is
no.
that's a
So
long time.
What if that same so how do you that's what another question I want to ask you. How do you determine? So I remember you said on the live podcast one time that your conversation with a house that was listed, say 5 days on the market is different from a house listed, let's say 25, 30, 45 days on the market. And we saw you talking to people where it was listed for 5 days. It was kind of smooth. It was easy. But we never got to the point where you talked to somebody that was listed a little longer because nobody would answer the phone. So, like, what's the mindset with you when a house is listed 5 days as compared to even if a house is listed for 25 days? Like, how do that?
So you'll notice I still went in for a discount. I still didn't want it at list price.
Right.
So I was still trying to get it below list price. However, my buyers, they all look at day on market and they'll see that if this house was just locked up, freshly listed, I can be closer to list price, but I still need to be away from list price.
Okay.
Make sense?
Makes sense. Okay, makes sense. So do your price change from a house that was on 60 days to a house that was on for, I'm finding a house that was on there for 173 days.
Oh, hell yeah. At 173 days, I'm gonna be extremely aggressive on my offer.
Yeah.
So if a house is listed for like 200 grand and it's been on there for 173 days, now you see that the ARV is still high on there, and you can make something, and they want like 180. ARV is at like 320 or something like that.
I might offer him 100 grand.
100 grand.
Yep.
Okay.
60 to 100, 30 to 50%. And remember, here's the thing: the whole market. It doesn't matter what the stats say. The market has told you nobody wants to buy it at this price.
Right.
Nobody. Everybody's seen it. Now, if it's 5 days and they have multiple offers, that's a different thing, right? Because houses will still sell instantly if the prices are right. We do it every single week in our business, wholesaling.
Yep.
You know what I mean? We put it at a wholesale price. People buy it because it makes sense. It's a deal at that price. But if it's on the market and everybody's saying no, you got to get it dramatically under that, right? And if they price it right, it'll go fast. It'll go instantly like a wholesale deal. Or it is a wholesale deal. So just remember that if it's sitting there, you've got ammo to go in. The other thing I would do is I would make sure that you're real solid on the numbers, because it might look like some properties there are going for 386, but really that house goes for 250 because it's missing a bathroom. It's on the main street. It's on the wrong side of the freeway.
I would check the comp to make sure that your comp's not off as well.
Yours is
100%.
3 stories. It's 2 stories. All of those things. So make sure you have somebody local, a buyer, especially get a buyer that that you can count on, that you bring it to them and say, hey, what would you buy this for? Reverse engineer it. Go say, hey, listen, what are you buying in this area? What price? Okay, you want it at 150. I'm going to go and I'm going to put a 150. I'm going to put 140 on every house in that whole area. You know what I'm saying? And reverse that so that you could get it sold.
Right. And the last thing, do y'all still go by? Because me trying to figure out. I used to try to figure out the construction cost. I used to try to figure out. I take 5% off, but you get to the closing. I try to really put myself in the position of the buyer. Like I don't know. Somebody said I shouldn't do that, but if I got the same mindset of a buyer, I figure I'm on top of the game. If I can look at it from a buyer's perspective, but it's something that I don't see you do no more. Is when you was making the charts of the construction chart, and since the market change, you said you upped it. You upped it. You said anything.
It's at wholesalinginc.com. It's in there. It's a download.
Okay. The new one is in there. How you take off construction costs?
Yeah, it's estimated construction costs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel, I mean, I like what you do, Jamil, but I like to see sometimes where the construction is too. I think that's like
I actually account for the construction cost,
in the
but I do it when I'm so if I'm looking at a house that's a cosmetic in a specific market, I break down every single market by cosmetic and full gut.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So one specific market might be cosmetic at 55 and full gut at 35. If you take all the construction costs that Brent will have you plug into his formula, his number and my number will be exactly the same.
Yeah, it's all there.
It's just the way that I do it. It's quicker because I don't really like having to go through and be like, how much is a toilet going to cost? How much is the paint going to cost? How much is the flooring going to cost? I just know that a full gut remodel is 20% more expensive than a cosmetic remodel. And I know what percentage of ARV a cosmetic remodel needs to be bought at. So then I just work from there. Also, what Privy also lets you do is you can look at fix and flip leads in Privy, and it can show you where are buyers buying right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, where are the buyers who are selling right now and buying right now? What percentage of ARV are they buying at?
Oh, yeah.
You'll know that on the last call that I did, the last Privy call I did, I was calling buyers that had just listed a property or just closed a property who were ready to buy right then.
Yeah, you did.
And I knew what percentage of ARV they bought at.
Right. I appreciate that. I definitely do. Awesome. Everybody that's watching, I'm in the Philly market. I joined you to be able to either hold somebody's hand or get my hand held. Like community is everything to me. Like I'm here in Philly. I want to be able to talk and call somebody and, back and forth ideas and all right, I gotta sell at this, I gotta buy at this. All right, how much could this be? Like I'm looking for that. So if anybody's in the Philadelphia market,
Kayla's there. Reach out to Kayla. If she's still here. Kayla's in that market. She's phenomenal. Yeah. Awesome.
All right. Well,
great to see you, bro.
God bless, and I'll be seeing y'all. Be talking about me soon.
Yeah, I better get you on the podcast.
Okay.
All right. See ya. And that's it. Great show. I like bringing this on.
Yeah,
I like the interaction. Let us know if you guys want us to do that some more. I thought that was phenomenal and really valuable. Just getting to talk to everybody that didn't get able to jump on here because of time constraints. Join me Wednesday at 10 o'clock Mountain Standard Time on the Brent Daniels YouTube channel, and Jamil on Sundays.
5 p.m.
Mountain Standard Time, straight out of Compton. That's it, guys. We love you. We'll see you next week.
Peace.
Or just say squat up.
So squat up and enjoy the show.
Yeah.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
So squat up and enjoy the show.
What are you doing?
I didn't say nothing.
Why?
I don't know.
Okay.
So squat up and enjoy the show.
Cool. I think we should use the one where Jamil doesn't say anything.